The legendary Mr. Joey Tempest, frontman, singer, songwriter, rock god, legend of Europe, will be joining me in the studio with his unplugged acoustic guitar. Well, that's a legend just tuning up right there. It's Saturday afternoon on BBC Radio 2. The time has just gone 5 o'clock, and the guitar that you can hear is being played by rock legend Mr. Joey Tempest from Europe, everybody. Hello, sir.
Hello, nice to be here.
It's a pleasure to have you here.
It's fun, it's fun.
How are you feeling?
I'm feeling good today, feeling good.
You've just finished a European tour.
Yeah.
How did that go?
It's been so nice to do this tour on this last Look at Eden album. We've been out for 1.5 years, just finished now, going into the studio in October.
You're going to record another album in October?
Yeah, in October we'll go in Stockholm with Kevin Shirley, who's worked with, Bono Massa, Blackstone Cherry and Aerosmith, and it's going to be nice to work with him. It's going to be a great album. We finally, I think, just going to do a real rock album, finally.
Oh,
I think we're getting there finally.
Really? After all of these years?
After all these years, I've always said one of these days this band is going to mount to something, you know?
Yeah. Well, have you never really seen Europe as being a hard rock band as such?
Oh yeah. We started out as only listening to Lizzie and UFO and Deep Purple and Led Zeppelin, and so we did 2 more heavier albums, Europe and Wings of Tomorrow, which were our 2 first album. And then we got together with Kevin Nelson, who produced Journey, and the sound changed a bit on our 3rd. That was where Final Countdown, that song was on there.
That was 85?
Yeah, 85, 86, yeah. And then we did Out of This World. We recorded that in Olympic Studios here in London. And then went to LA to record Prisoners in Burbank. So, and that was that trip. That was those 10 years, constant touring, 5 albums. And then a little break, and now we've been back for 7 years with 3 albums, we're sort of doing it the long way around, try not to jump on nostalgia tours or anything, just doing new music, playing hard and working hard, you know?
How do you feel about nostalgia, though? Do you like to look back? Do you like to play those old songs that made you famous?
There's a place for it, and there is on stage, and we love playing those songs. I mean, Final Countdown is a great communicator. I mean, everybody feels good, and they leave with a smile, and you get to rock the night, Superstitious, Carrie, But we don't sing it in the shower, That's the thing.
I do.
You can do it. We leave that to you, Justin.
How do you feel about the Final Countdown these days? I mean, do you embrace it? Do you still love it? Are there nights where it just drives you crazy?
No, we love playing it. It was written as an opening track for our show to build the excitement for a Europe show. It was on our 3rd album. I've just started experimenting more with keyboards. I've heard Ed Van Halen experiment with his Oberheim on Jump. I was sort of jumping. The instrument shops in Stockholm started stocking keyboards, and I was like, what is this thing? How can you do that? What can you do with it? So we MIDI'd 11 synthesizers to get that sound for Final Countdown, and we still have the same sample with us when we tour today. That's the problem sometimes when people cover that song. They don't have the same sound on the actual. But no, that song, yeah, we still love it. It's an album track to us. I think we see it differently than perhaps a lot of people out in the world. It has its own life. It's a classic song. It's become it's got a life of its own out there. But for us, it's still an album track. It's still derived from songs like Run to the Hills with Iron Maiden or Lights Out with UFO, that tempo, that galloping tempo. I remember writing it. I was looking for something like that. The lyrics, David Bowie, Space Oddity, the first single I bought, I was so fascinated with his fascination about space that I wanted to write something like that myself. So Final Countdown is about the last day on Earth. We're leaving together. That's so ironic, though, because a lot of people use it for weddings and fun things and everything, and it's, it's about a certain end.
My football team come out to the Final Countdown every Saturday afternoon. I've got to tell you, Joey, we're not doing that well at the moment.
All right, maybe you should switch song.
Maybe they should come out to Gary.
Yeah.
That would work better for us.
There was a girl band did a cover for that. It was called Gary. Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Did you have any idea, Joey, that song was going to be as huge and anthemic as it became? Because that song, I suppose, changed your life, didn't it?
Yeah, it did. I mean, we had 2 albums before that, more guitar-oriented, and we finally got to tour UK and US and stuff like that. That was our dream. We had posters of Thin Lizzy touring out in Europe and the UK and at Reading Festival or something, and we wanted to do that, you know. And last year we got to play Nebworth, you know, and we played iTunes Festival, and we're doing it. We're doing this now.
What was Nebworth like for you? How was that?
That was amazing. You know, fantastic, and we recorded a lot of that, and it's coming out in sort of a coffee table book, and there's a live CD in there. It's coming out now, and the audience went nuts for Final Countdown, like you said, and also the new tracks, and it was fabulous to know that, you know, Led Zeppelin did a few of the last shows there, didn't they? And I wonder if Freddie Mercury did the last ever show there or something like that. Yeah, in the 80s. Yeah, it was just amazing. Everybody's been there, and you know, it's great to have that control and be able to do this for a living, release albums and tour around the world. I mean, it's great. I have the greatest job in the world, and you get to taste that too soon. You're doing your musical thing. I mean, to stand there in front of a great band and to play music for a living, I couldn't ask for anything more. It's fantastic.
Well, you mentioned the musical theatre, and
yes.
Of course I'm about to embark on this journey, and it's wonderful for me being in Rock of Ages. I love it,
yeah.
But every night I get to sing the Final Countdown.
I heard that.
Now, I
amazing.
don't have your voice, and it's one of the best moments in the show. You know, we've got lasers going off, you hear the opening bars to the Final Countdown, and without giving anything away, I run on with a flashlight, and I sing the opening to the song, and it's a moment that I look forward to night after night. But I'm just a little bit concerned about, you know, it's such a big song.
Yeah, I've heard you sing a bit. You've done various things on programs. You got the good voice, so you'll be all right. It's just I remember doing that vocal. It was one of the vocals I did in Stockholm. The rest was done in San Francisco on that album. But I remember coming home that night thinking, oh, that was sort of a new style to sing for me. You hold the note straight and you keep it high and long notes, and it is kind of hard. That's why it's great. It's towards the end of my set, because then my voice is warmed up. It's completely warmed up.
It has to be warm, because it's massive.
Yeah, it's a big challenge. I haven't tried those games, SingStar and all that, and see if I can get full points for it.
You haven't tried? You need to try, like the Rockstar, the Rock Band game.
See if they give me full marks. You know, that'd be interesting.
Now, can I ask you about a particular line?
Yeah.
Because I have to sing the line, "To Earth, who can tell?"
Yeah.
Now, I want to sing it like this, "To Earth, who can tell?" But I'm being told by our MD to sing it like this, "To Earth, who can tell?"
I like you. You're a bit more jazzy. I think you bend the note, and I think that's more what I do.
Do you bend the note?
I never really stick to rules like that. So I like the bending, I think.
But the thing is, you're Joey Tempest. You wrote the song. You can bend. You can make your own rules.
Yeah.
I can't bend.
I know.
I have an MD saying, no, do it like this.
I know. Well, nah, you got to go against. You got to fight the man, Justin.
Man.
This is rock and roll. Do it, man.
Oh, my God. Joey Tempest has just told me that I need to fight the man.
Yes.
Joey, you've made my day. You've got the guitar there. Can you play a little bit of the song for me, maybe, acoustically? Do you do that with the Final Countdown?
I do it differently. I mean, if I play that song, I try to do it slightly different, because... So you can do something like this, you know. We're leaving together, still it's farewell. Maybe we'll come back to Earth, who can tell? Guess there is no one to blame. We're leaving ground. Will things ever be the same again? Is the final countdown? Oh, the final countdown. Heading for Venus, still we stand tall. Maybe they've seen us and welcome us all. So many light years to go and things to be found. Will things ever be the same again? It's the final countdown.
Mr. Joey Tempest, I've got goosebumps.
Thank you very much.
Oh, man alive. Have you ever performed a song like that live before?
Occasionally, if me and John maybe do an acoustic version of it, yeah. Not live. I don't think you've done it like this live, no. Not with the band, not with the show.
Can I suggest, I mean, who am I, but can I suggest that maybe once in a while, every now and again, you should?
We did a similar version with a string quartet once, so yeah, we've tried it. Thank you for the, yeah, maybe we should strip it down and do it like this.
Strip it down?
Fight the man, strip it down, man.
What's it like being on the road these days, Joey? You've just come off the back of a big European tour. How has it changed compared to, you know, the mid-'80s? What's different?
I don't know. We used to party 80% and play music 20%. Now it's the other way around.
It was 80-20 back then?
Yeah,
80%
the other way around.
partying? Did it get pretty wild for Europe back in the mid-'80s?
I mean, we were kids. We started touring in Sweden when we were 17, 18. And we toured quite a lot. And so we were, you know, boys on the road already then. That was way before Final Countdown. But that's when we started touring the world and to tour US and UK. I mean, yeah, it was crazy. There was some incidents. We've been in positions when we really have to run for our lives, you know.
Really?
You must know that. You're getting real famous, Justin. Come on.
I get a couple of middle-aged ladies every now and again. You know, I'm not quite sure what they want to do with me, Joey. But, and I don't run that fast either. I kind of want to be cool.
Okay,
I mean, do you run quick? I'm not that fast a runner.
I don't know. Maybe.
When was the first huge tour? I would imagine that would have been, what, 86?
Yeah, we started touring in Europe in bigger venues. Hammersmith was obviously a fantastic show for us.
Yeah.
I travelled there when I was 16 with the drummer to see Thin Lizzy. And I was sitting there with the glitter bar and everything and listening to Cowboy Song. And when we got there ourselves, it was just magic, you know. We were playing here. So we've done Hammersmith a few times. But the first real crazy tour, I mean, was probably 88 with Def Leppard. They were #1 with Pour Some Sugar on Me. We were special guests. You can imagine that tour in America.
Wow.
Oh, my God.
How crazy did it
This
get?
is not the right forum to bring things up, but
Yes,
that
it is.
was wild.
How wild did it get, Joey? This is absolutely the right forum. This is your platform, Joey. How wild did it get?
No, it got pretty crazy. No, but it was great. It was great to get to know those guys, and Joe and I still have a little contact, and that tour meant a lot to us. And then we moved on, and we did big tours after that as well. So yeah, you know.
Who was the wildest on that tour, Def Leppard or Europe?
Well, you have to ask Joe, but he has actually gone out and say that he's never toured with a wilder band. I think it was due to our drummer mostly. He's got the same personality as you. He's absolutely crazy and he can sleep at night. You know what I mean? But he might have done some different things to you. But he
Oh my
he
goodness.
was but he's a lovely force, and I love the guy. And he doesn't. If you ask him, you know, he'll tell you all about it. So he's kind of cool like that.
Is there a book? Is there a book out? Have you written a book? Because, you know, the rock biog is like, that's a big thing.
They are on our cases like badasses.
Why don't you do it?
Now we're waiting. We have a few chapters. I told my manager the other day we have a few chapters left because things are going so well for us now, and we want to do some more before we do it, you know. And we have some stories, and I asked the bass player, "Do you really want to do this? You know, do you want to talk about all that stuff? Your kids are now, you know, teenage, and all that. Oh, maybe soon, you know."
Now, I've read, as I'm sure you have, I've read The Dirt by Motley Crue,
Yeah.
and there were one or two very interesting stories in that book. Are you saying that you have stories that could top Motley Crue's book and
Not
just
really.
blow
not
it out
really.
of the
I don't
water?
think so. I mean, we were never that kind of band either that really played on it and talked about how wild we were or anything. But we were just kids touring, and I think a book could be interesting in various ways. You don't really just have to be, dirty. It can be other stories as well. But of course, there'll be some rock stories as well.
Well, I was watching just this morning the DVD of your gig at the Shepherd's Bush Empire.
Yeah.
And I've got to say that your voice is still phenomenal.
Thank you. That was the third gig on that tour, UK tour. It was earlier this year, I think, yeah.
Well, let's have a listen to Mr. Joey Tempest in action now, and I think we're going to have a listen to the track Last Look at Eden.
All right,
which was
cool.
The title track from your last album.
Yes.
Can you tell us about this track, Joe?
Yeah, it was one of the tracks that we really felt strongly for. It was just before the election in America when Obama got in, and it was a little bit of a reflection to that lyrically. But the song has that majestic feel. It's got that rock feel, and we worked with a young producer in Gothenburg, and it really captured the sound. We went to Prague to do some strings on it. It took on a different life, and it's one of our favorites when we play live. John, the guitar player, saying, I can't wait to play that. And we open with this, and it's...
Joey, do you ever think that Axl Rose copied your vocal style?
I'd like to think that. I think he's got a great rock voice, one of the greatest. I don't know. I met him, didn't I? Yeah, I met him in Tokyo.
What was he like?
You know, in Tokyo, there's this place called Lexington. It's not there anymore. Lexington Bar and Grill, and that's where all the artists met to drink. And because obviously, for those people that did drugs, you couldn't take anything into Japan. It's well documented. You can't. So it had to resort to alcohol. So everybody went to this place, just party. And I just remember him one night sitting in the corner by himself with a fur coat on him. And the rest of the band I was talking to and partying with, and it just got completely out of hand. But then I did meet him in the bathroom, and we talked about Bermuda Triangle of all the things. I don't know. That was the conversation. It was very short, and it was about Bermuda Triangle. And then it got out of control. I think we got thrown out around 4 or 5 there. But they came to see us play. Oh, yeah, because this was the end of the 80s, beginning of the 90s, and they came to see us play. And we had that big show, you know, the hard rock show. We came from that background. We wanted to do the biggest impression. And they went, and we went to see them, and they just started. And they didn't have a set list. They were meeting at the drum kit to talk about what song to play. They didn't have any lights with them. It was just so. It was actually the turning point when the 80s sort of met the 90s, and it was kind of a weird period because we were signed to New York, and we felt the winds of change. Pearl Jam CD was on the desk when we were up the last time. It's like,
really?
Whoa, something's going on here. I mean, we loved those bands and all that, but it was a big change. But the great thing about Guns, they kept the fire burning as a classic rock band through that period. That's what I like about them. They're sort of a link. They kept, you know, burning through the 90s where a lot of bands went away for a while, you know.
How do you feel, or how did you feel then about the grunge period?
It was a weird thing because there was a party at Burbank where some of us in the band, I don't remember what it was, but Nirvana was there. A few of the guys in Nirvana was there, and it was really weird. And it was on the wall there at Oakwood Apartments. It said, "Who the f*** is Joey Tempest?" I think it said.
Really?
And according to legend, and it was Kurt Cobain that wrote it.
You're kidding.
So there you got, you know, it was kind of weird. And I asked my drummer, "Is it true? Was it?" Yeah, I mean, I was there. They talked about it. It's, you know, but why would he do that? It was kind of interesting. It was a big change going on, you know.
Yeah.
So they were taking over, you know, bands like that. You know, it was great.
Just briefly, I know you're going back into the studio, I think, in the autumn. Is that right? To work on the next album?
That's right.
What can we expect?
It'll be very scary.
Scary rock.
Yeah.
I'll look forward to it. Mr. Joey Tempest, thank you so much for coming in. It's been a pleasure to speak to you.
Yeah. See you soon. Take care, man.